Hi boys and girls, my name is Miss Lisa and you are watching the Crafty Corner. Today I have another craft for you. This one is the little hungry caterpillar. It's springtime and we know that caterpillars are out there right now outside, so you might want to go start looking for them because then they turn into beautiful butterflies, and springtime is a wonderful time to go out into nature and to see different things. And so today what you're going to see in your packet is you're going to have two wiggly eyes, you're going to have a little piece of green antenna, you're going to have a leaf to cut out, and we're going to have some different strips of colored paper. They're going to be different for everybody, so not everybody's is going to look the same. The very first thing that we're going to need to do is I'm going to make sure that all these strips are the same. It looks like this one is a little longer, so I'm just going to trim that off so that all of our loops are the same size. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and make the loops because it takes a while to make sure that they stay well attached. So you're just going to fold those to each other. Just put a nice swab of glue on one end, bring the other end around, and then hold. Might need to count to 5 or so. You want to hold that really tight, and you can see I'm holding it with both hands and just holding it until that little loop stays like a little loop. All right, we're going to move on to the orange, and again we're going to fold it up. I'm going to put some glue stick right there. If you have white glue, that would work too, but it will sort of squish out all over the place and get on you and you'll get sticky. So if you have glue stick at home, that's probably the best. Again, hold it nice and tight. Wait a few seconds. Let it go and make sure it is stayed. So there we've got another loop. Loop this around, put the glue on, and hold. Now my favorite caterpillar when I'm out in the spring looking is for those monarch caterpillars. Those caterpillars tend to be just white and yellow, white and black, turn into our beautiful monarch caterpillars. There we go. One more loop to go. I'm going to put the glue on and hold it. All right. So we do have the Very Hungry Caterpillar book here by Eric Carle, very famous book. The one I have brought today, it's the one that's actually in Spanish. So if you want to work up on your Spanish skills, you could check that out and see if you can read it in Spanish. So now while those are getting nice and dry, I'm going to go ahead and cut out my leaf. So we want to cut right there along that black line as close as you can. And remember, boys and girls, if you are not really good with scissors, have an adult to help you because you don't want to cut this in half or something, because then your project would be ruined. So we're just going to cut on that outside edge all the way around till we get down here to the stem and bring it around, and we are done. Make sure our trash is thrown away. All right, so then you have to decide and play with these colors a little bit, and which order do you want them in? Oh, I think I like that, the orange at the beginning. So we're going to lay your little loops where you might want them. That's looking pretty good. And what I think we're going to do is just pull those off, and we're going to use our white glue. And I'm just going to put a pretty thick, if I can get my glue to come out, pretty thick line of glue all the way down the stem of my leaf here where I'm going to have that caterpillar crawling around. Okay. Then I can just lay each loop down. Maybe I'll stick my finger inside and press it down. You don't really even have to glue your loops together to themselves as long as you can get them right next to each other on the paper. So I'm going to stick my finger in there into each of those. With that white glue, it's going to slide around a little bit, so you definitely want to hold it down until you get it to where you want it to be so that they're right next to each other. You could even flatten it a little bit if you wanted. I like him nice and poofy. All right, then we need to come to the front, and I've chosen orange as his head, so we're just going to put a tiny little bit of glue there and get his eyes on there. Now, since it's a loop, it might want to slide down. So, yep, look at it sliding. So you're going to probably want to hold it just a little bit until that glue starts to adhere to the back of the eye. Let's try to get this other one in here. You don't need a lot of glue, because if you have more glue, it's going to squish out all over the place, and then you're going to have some dried glue on his face when you're done. Probably don't want that. Okay. He's coming apart from the black just a little bit. I'm going to slide him back. All right, he's looking pretty cute. And now for his antennas, the antennas help our caterpillar. So we're going to turn that into a V. And sticking it with glue is not going to work real well right there. So what we're going to do is get some tape and put some tape along the back of that V, and then slide him down right in there between those two colors that you've chosen for the head. I'm actually going to wrap my tape around there a little bit. And there we have his antenna right on there. All right. Now, you know that caterpillars do lay eggs. So if you wanted to, like the original one over here, have some little black eggs over here. And the butterfly lays the eggs, and then out pops the caterpillar. You could also do a couple other little insects on there if you wanted, but that just gives it a little bit more decoration. So my eye is starting to want to slide again. So boys and girls, you're going to have to watch your eye. You might want to make your first loop actually, and then glue the eyes on maybe before you put the caterpillar all together. That might be another little hint to make sure that the eye stays on well. All right, boys and girls, this is your craft for this day in April. So I think he's pretty cute. All right, come on down, get your packet, and make a little caterpillar. I'm Miss Lisa for the Fayette County Public Library, and you've been watching the Crafty Corner. I'll be back again next week for another craft. Bye now.